The Powertrain Perspective podcast is sponsored by TransStar Aftermarket Solutions.
Thank you for joining Powertrain Perspective today, a transmission digest video production. This allows us to pick the brains of knowledgeable people throughout the transmission industry and in the broader automotive aftermarket. I'm Transmission Digest publisher Bobby Mace. Now, for many years, February is the month in which we take a look at high performance and racing segments of the transmission aftermarket. So today, I'm joined by Gregg Nader, who is Sonnax product line manager for high performance products. Gregg heads up a team of technicians and engineers who concentrate on these specialized products. So Gregg, before we get down to more specifics, let's talk about the terms of how you would define the high performance segment of the transmission aftermarket.
Well, yeah, that's pretty broad, but I can say internally here at Sonnax, where we have a lot of different product groups, I consider it any product that is used to rebuild a transmission that allows it to handle higher torque or have higher GVW towing capacity, or be suitable for higher horsepower applications, and that is also used in transmissions that are promoted that way. So you might have a heavy duty improvement, but if it's just used in a general rebuild, I wouldn't consider that so much high performance. But if it's used in an application where it's going to be a more demanding application, and that's the intent of the rebuilt transmission, then that's a high performance part. Beyond that, we have our little niche with automatic transmissions, but there's all kinds of work being done all around the country, all around the world, with all different transmission platforms in these performance applications.
So Gregg, tell me what types of high performance products and applications, those like towing, which ones would be included in the products that Sonnax supplies?
Well, for what I do, which is high performance transmission parts, it broadly breaks down into three categories, which is heavy duty pickup trucks, vans, commercial vehicles, enthusiast vehicles. These are all the either the hot rodded gas and diesel trucks you see running around, but it can even be a van or a pickup truck that's towing that bobcat or dragging car hauling trailer across country. Anything that's operating at the limit of its GVW or has boosted power. So we have that broad pickup truck category, and then street rod and performance units, which is your typical 4-speeds and 6-speeds that are retrofitted into older vehicles, or when people are hopping up a car, that type of thing. And then the third category is all-out drag racing. But within the performance segment, we're always looking for opportunities wherever we can.
You mentioned to me earlier a Smart Tech drum module for the TH400.
Yeah. I got that baby right here. I just grabbed a few parts. Some of the stuff just came back from SEMA and PRI. That's this piece here, and it replaces both the forward and direct drums in a turbo drag racing application, Turbo 400.
Now, you have an R&D process there that takes quite a while. As I recall, you want to give us just the basics of how you go about creating some of these products?
Well, I mean, it can really cover a wide range again, because we have really diverse product groups. But for me, for the most challenging applications where we're really trying to solve a problem or make an improvement, is to predictably duplicate the problem. So, if you have a case or a situation where something is failing, whether it's a shaft that breaks or some other component that breaks, if, even hydraulic issues, if we can duplicate that here at our tech center, well, then we can design solutions around that and improve it out here in the tech center. One of the most challenging things is where you think you make an improvement and you put it out there into the market, or you put it out for test, and it goes into a car, and you have no control over the actual test environment. So as far as the process, for the most challenging applications, the ideal scenario is to be able to test it in-house here in the lab under controlled circumstances, and then move on from there.
Well, I think that almost all local shops have had some exposure or some project that they've worked on with either racing or performance. They've got the local drag race track, and they've got a car or something. And I think it's something that we see increasing interest in. Now, I know it's Sonnax, and I'll just ask you one last question. You work on both the transmission internal and the converter on these. Is that correct?
Yeah, to be clear, we don't work on them. We create the components.
Yeah, that's the word.
But yes, yeah. So I specifically deal with the transmission internal components, but we have a separate team that does the performance drive shafts and slip yokes, and then then we also have kits for building the torque converters as well. So forged covers, whether it's diesels, multi-plate kits for the diesels, forged covers, and then forged converter kits for higher stall applications where you're reducing the diameter of the torque converter. We do all that stuff here. And on the performance side of things, it's not just me here. We have other product line managers, other teams, and it's really interesting to see all the things that can happen here within this organization.
Well, I thank you for taking time to discuss these issues with us today. And I thank everyone who joined us for this episode of Powertrain Perspective.